morning, good afternoon, YouTube, depending where you're at. This is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, this is the first of a new month, the first week of a new month, and time is flying. I mean, it seems like we have started the new year, then we're already. This is the 10th month. Got 2 more to go. I mean, you see, like it's getting old. I know. It seems like the holidays have come forever. Now they come every time you turn your head. So anyway, folks, this is a lady I have here in front of me. She just turned pro almost about a couple months ago at the North Americans. She is a coach, a trainer, a fitness enthusiast. I reached out to her and she said she wanted to tell a story and share with us because you know what? As a content maker, I like to get these ladies opportunity to share their story because you never know. You might someone like her or to inspire someone out there who might want to get in the sport of bodybuilding. We have here the lovely Naomi Marshall Horne, or just Mrs. Naomi, so we cut it down short. She is an IFBB figure pro, and we want to share her story with us, and maybe educate us about how she found her path in the sport of bodybuilding. So, ma'am, as I always ask this question to you ladies who get in the sport, what got you interested in such a sport of muscle and masculinity? Please share.
At first I was doing like CrossFit and Spartan races and stuff, and I, love being active and especially outdoor activities and stuff. And at the time, I went to my weight loss journey and I lost a lot of weight, and I think I lost 45 pounds. And I had a friend. I was like, man, I always like, my mom used to bodybuild, but just for fun, not necessarily for competition or anything. I always loved her body. I love women body with muscles and stuff. And so I asked my friend, I need a trainer who can give me some. I don't want to, just be active and have strength, but I wanted to have muscles too. So introduced me to my coach. At the time, he was my trainer, Fit Philosopher. So he introduced me to him, and I was just telling him I just want to get muscles and stuff like that. He was like, okay. So we started training. And then maybe 4 or 5 months into the training, he was just like, you know what, if you really want to look like a bodybuilder, you should do competitions. And at the time, I would never wear a bathing suit. I would never wear shorts. I would never show my body because after having my daughter and children, and I kind of got stretch marks, and the skin wasn't the same or anything like that. So I never wanted to show my body. So for me, it was like, okay, well, I get to grow muscles, but also I get to get over my fear of the unwillingness to show my body as a mom, no longer having the young body anymore, but as a mom, what my body looked like. And I just appreciate just that, just to be able to stand on stage and just appreciate my beauty as is, stretch marks, stomach not being right and all, just go on stage as is and feel comfortable in that state. So I did my first show. I think I started with him in 2016, did my first show in March of 2017. And I came in last place, but it gave me like this competitive part of myself. It was like, never will I ever come in last place again. And like, that was it. I was like hooked after my first show.
No, that's pretty good because you know what? You're not the only woman who got into sport kind of late in life who had kids. Back in the day, there were that many bodybuilders that were moms that were competing. There was maybe a handful, like people like Michelle Brent. She was one. Krista Bach, Vicky Gates, Diane Dennis. I mean, there were only maybe at the most 5 or 6, if even more than that. But in the last few years, there's a growing number of women who come in sport late in life. Some some even took a step back from the sport and had a family. Like one lady I know, Miss Melanie Horton, she took a step back. She competed was in '99 Olympia. Took a step back, almost spent 18 years raising her kids and having a family. And she came back. There's ladies who I know who got into sport because of their reason was to lose weight. Because they got these stretch marks and had the babies. See, I got a dad bod, I don't have no kids, but you got to expect the passion for it. We got some people coming here. This is my man. He's an ace boom coon, but same time he's a hater. This is my man KL the Wonder. He says, all I am already a fan, and also he likes to pick on me. He says, Professor X George Page. And also, he has one more to say to you. He says, "Congratulations, champagne glasses up high, and being on a pro and endeavor on the sport." So, okay. So, when you started, what your coach was telling you? Where do you feel like you want to fit in? You feel like figure was a good division, or like a lot of ladies who got into it, they started at bikini. Was that your first one, or you were just
Figure. Because I'm just I'm not really a thin person. I never was like really really skinny. Probably when I was in high school or something like that. But I always had like a little weight, and so my coach was like, either you can do bikini, but you have to like get down really really small. And at the time, I think I was maybe 135 pounds. So he was like, I need to get down to like 105 pounds or something. I was like, not happening, not happening. I didn't think I would look good at that weight and stuff. So he was like, other or figure, because there was no wellness at the time. So I was like, yeah, figure. But then I love building my back. So my back was like my favorite part to build, my favorite part to work. So, figure was like, yeah, the best fit for me. And yeah, I love it now.
Yeah, because figure has been around for a good bit. I mean, it's I think it's the third oldest division right now for in the women's bodybuilding class. You go first women's bodybuilding been around since the good part of the '80s. It's nearly, I would say nearly 50 years. At 50 years, then you have fitness that came a few years after that. Then figure got spun off from fitness, and then you have bikini, which more like was brought into the sport, kind of like wellness was brought in, and and physique, and that kind of spinned off from women's bodybuilding. And and who's your coach again, and how did you two meet again?
Philosopher. How do we meet? Through a mutual friend, someone that knew him at the time. He was working at Iron Addicts, and yeah, it was just a mutual friend introduced us together, and we used to work out at Iron Addicts. At that time, now he has his own gym. But at the time he didn't, so we used to work out there, and yeah, that was the beginning part of it.
hmm And he said, he worked with you. Like like Rocky Balboa to your Mick. You're the Mick to the Rocky Balboa. You say like you got emoji. You gotta eat lightning crap out thunder. And and what's that feeling the first time when you competed, when you got on that
Oh,
stage?
I was so nervous. I was nervous. I was like literally shaking. I was just so nervous at the time. And and even though I had practiced my posing because it was the first time, when I got up there, I just like blanked. I didn't even know what to do. So I just stood there for like a second or two. And then when I saw the ladies do the first pose, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm supposed to do I'm supposed to do my first pose. So it was like, yeah, I was just a ball of nerves. It was the worst not the worst experience, but it was like I definitely didn't feel like I was prepared enough for sure.
Yeah, and one thing you got to wear those clear heels. I mean, that's something
Oh my,
I know.
I couldn't even walk in here. Because I'm like I said, I was doing CrossFit and Spartan races and doing all kind of other stuff at the time, riding, biking, and all that kind of stuff. So I was just not a person who wore heels or anything like that. So I had to literally practice, 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 just being able to walk, not making sure I don't like stumble or fall or anything like that. Because I wouldn't say probably until this last show I did where I felt the most comfortable walking in heels, because it's like it's just not my thing. I only wear heels if I really absolutely have to. So that was, yeah, I had to teach myself how to do that as well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with heels, it's something. It's part of the division because it's only wellness, bikini, and your division that do the heels. Everybody else is well, and can't get fitness when they have their routines. Bodybuilding physique is barefooted, but I know somebody said they love their heels. I mean, I interviewed a lady who also she turned pro in figure a while back. She said she loves her heels. She even works on a treadmill with her heels on. It's good. It's crazy. I know it's tough. We got here. This is from my man Warrior 2000. He says this. He says, "Welcome to the pro ranks, Naomi." Thank you, Warrior. And he wants to give you a little wave. Says hello, hello. And yeah, it's easy. A lot of people don't understand what you have, especially for your competitors. It's it's one thing you got to go out there in front of people. You're practically butt naked. You got kids and say, "That's my mommy up there." I say, "Oh, no." And your kids? What were their thoughts when they, when they decided mommy want to be a bodybuilder?
Um, I guess because the bodybuilding part, because I was already in the gym all the time, so my daughter didn't know the difference. She was just like, my mom works out all the time anyway. So at the time, I was already in the gym. I was already working out like crazy. At the time, I was doing 3 workouts a day, because I just loved it so much. So she was already used to me working out. So really, as far as a bodybuilder, she didn't really like get it until probably during COVID. I did a show during like the ending part of COVID, and I started actually really, you could see the definition of muscle like really coming in, because the first show I didn't have that much muscle. And so then that's when she was like, "Oh my gosh!" It would be because her friends would see me and be like, "Oh my God, your mom! That's your mom! She looks so good." And they would all say something. So then she got kind of like, "Oh my God, she loved it. She's proud of me. She likes what I do." I always try to get her in the gym with me, but she won't.
Well, like I said, with I have a niece. She's my great niece, and my nephew. He wants to push her like that's his only daughter. He wants to be like her. I say, hey, little girls gonna do what they want to do. Some little girls like to go and get the nails done, like you wear dresses. Some little girls like to go play basketball with the boys and do this like that. It's just about where she fits it. What works for you may not work for her. But I have known some ladies who have the children will follow their footsteps, and because they just like they have fondness for the sport. Folks, if you want to follow the lovely Mrs. Horne, her social media stuff is in the description. Check her out. Follow her if you're interested. Also, again, she's a fitness trainer. But guys, and there's no offense to you, Naomi, know the pic. She has kids. She got a man. He don't want to see that stuff. Come on, guys. I know she's a lovely chocolate sister with her buffed out arms. I know you get that little chicken, but stop it. Get some help. Come on. Yeah, okay. This is from a man, Warrior 2000. He says this. I remember back in the day when fitness competitors used to not wear shoes, especially in the early 2000s, days when they were doing quarter turn mandatory poses. Yeah, Also, this is from my man, KL Warner. He says this. I guess wearing heels is the art for a woman, especially competing. Yeah, it is. It's tough. And one thing about the factor is that it's necessary part of you for your division because figure as I see it is like I mostly when I started my stuff I was really doing stuff on women's bodybuilding, and then I expanded to physique, and I said what, I can expand more to other divisions, especially where I see the similarities that it's truly more close to bodybuilding than is bikini anything because and a lot of competitors as come up from bikini or they go figure, they go wellness, or they go straight up to physique. Because I know people like Ashley Jones, Natalia Cuejo, Shanique Grant, several other ladies who I follow or on social media and who do content on have done figure for a good while. I remember I asked a question. One lady, she's an amateur, said, "Well, can you explain me more about figure?" I said, "Well, it's most about the back and shoulders, really, and you have to have that tapered look, but not too much, size." What do you say?
I said, yeah, that V taper. Yeah. Have that big back and shoulders. Bring out those lats so your waist can look small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you know what, and even now, if you look at division now, it seems like the women are starting to evolve a little more higher. I mean, you look at people like Lola Montez, Nicole Zenobia, Jessica Diaz Reyes. You still got Sid Gill, who still looks. I think she still hits the criteria of the.
Going to women's physique.
Yeah, but I think what.
I said they're a pretty good size. They're almost borderline women's physique.
Just need a little more density in certain areas, especially around the legs. So like that. That's the big difference. Here we get here. This is from Warrior 2000. He says, I remember when figure women athletes back in the day used to be leaner in the early 2000s. That's, like I said, still learning about figure, but so
when it was still learning about it, what was it like wellness? learning about it, figuring out what the that division should look like and stuff. But no, now women come with size. They come with size.
I think I know. I saw one of my like I have quite a few monikers. I have a couple of names, and I'm all the way George Page, aka from Freedom Bodybuilding Talk. I am also there's another guy. He's the other guy. He's called a Pervy Sage. I yell. And then there's also the hater, and there's also this guy here. He's yeah, he's coming up here. He's my other identity. He's the villain. He's a particular type of criminal. A little chaos and anarchy. But you'll come to it. But you're safe right now. You're safe right now. He's really chill right now. But also, I have another character called I call him my Lord of the Wall. He's Jon Snow, the Bastard of Winterfell. I have birdies, the ravens that come here so often and give me information, and people tell me how now they're saying that they need change requirements, especially for certain divisions. They just say that I think they change requirements for men's classic, they change requirements for men's physique after the Olympia, and they change requirements. They want the world's and wellness because they said wellness is supposed to be deformed a bit. You're supposed to be small at the top, big at the bottom. They keep changing criteria. I mean, they didn't want too much gyrations in the glutes, but then when you train and develop your body, especially making your skin paper thin, you're going to see those gyrations in the glutes.
Yeah, that's why wellness is now, I guess, coming in a little softer than figure. Figure you definitely have to come in more conditioned, but wellness is now, their change is coming in a little bit softer, so you don't see so much of the lines in the legs and stuff. So it's definitely a sport. It's an interesting sport, but I love mines. I love figure.
Well, like I said, I'm getting to learn a little bit more about division. So, folks, first we're going to look at this video she did. This is an interview she did right after she got a pro card. So, if you're interested, it's something, I mean, you got to see her, how she was very happy. She was very excited. I mean, you put in your time, you put in work. This is where you got your pro card. And, and it was just that feeling before we started the video. What was that feeling like when they announced that you're now an IFBB pro?
Oh my God, it was like the best feeling ever. Because I mean, people who do the sport and stuff like that and compete, especially compete, it's like the last four or 5 weeks. I mean, you're deprived in every way, and so you don't think you look good. It's like you go through this mental state, which is crazy. And I do it every time I do a show. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm here to win, but I wasn't really thinking that I was like going to win because I've done so many, this is my second national show, but I didn't know I was actually going to win because I just didn't feel it. I'm like, I'm just going to go up here and have fun and do what I do. But I didn't think I was going to win because, you're always your worst enemy.
Critics.
Yeah, your critic. It's like you say all kind of stuff in your head. But when I was doing the prejudging, and normally my coach, I can hear him. I see him. You can hear him. He's telling you what to do, and I'm looking for him. I'm like, I don't see him. Where is he? Like, but in his mind, he's like, she got this. I can like just chill for whatever reason he felt I had it. And so when the prejudging was over, he was like, oh yeah, you got 2 pro cards. And I'm like, yeah, right. So the first time they called my name, oh my gosh, I was just like, I can't believe like, my name gets called last. Like when I saw the lady right before they called second place, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is between me and her. I'm like, they called her, and I was just like inside, I was like jumping up and down. I couldn't do that on stage, but inside, I was like so ecstatic, so happy.
Yeah, I think last thing you want to do is jump down in high heels and then you break your ankle. So, folks, we'll show the video here, and I'm telling you, folks, she's really proud of herself. She should be, because, like I said, it's a lot of hard work put in this sport, and do what these ladies and gentlemen do. You got to respect their passion for it. So here we go. We can show the video here, and there we go.
North American Championship with your figure 45 and over, overall champ and new IFBB pro. This is Naomi Marshall Horne. Yes. Right? I got it right. Like she got like 8 names. Naomi, congratulations. How you feeling?
I feel so happy and excited. You know, this was a long journey, so I'm glad to see myself like get to this win.
Well, this is awesome. I mean, in the IFBB now, you know, like a huge accomplishment. How long have you been going for it?
I did my first show in 2017.
Okay.
My first show. But you know, just in lifting weights and stuff, you know, a little bit longer. But I wasn't ready to step into actually competition until 2017.
So you've been lifting weights. Obviously, clearly you've been lifting weights longer than that, right? You've been lifting weights for a while. Were people like trying to like pressure you? Oh, girl, you need to get on stage. Get on stage.
No, it wasn't like that.
Really?
I was lifting but more because I was doing CrossFit. So lifting
okay.
that way. So it wasn't like bodybuilding. It was more like strength training.
Yeah. So then you switched it to more hypertrophy style, building to build muscle instead of performance based, right?
Well, my coach, philosopher, he's the one that got me into it. I was just like, I want to look like the women that are on stage. I love muscles. I wanted to have that look.
But you didn't want to compete.
I didn't want to.
You were scared.
I didn't want to compete, and he was like, the only way to look like that is to do a show. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do a show. He talked me into it.
And the rest, and that was 2017. The rest is, and now you're in IFBB. How about that? So, how many national shows have you done?
This is my second.
Only your second national. So when was the first?
Here.
Last year? Would you place?
Fourth and sixth.
Fourth and sixth, and then you come and you sweep it. That's called redemption.
It feels good.
It feels real good.
It feels good.
Okay. So what's the future hold for you, Naomi? When can we expect to see Naomi on a pro stage?
I need a break.
Okay.
So break, get bigger, lift more, try to put on some more size.
2024.
2025.
Oh. late 2024. Okay, 2025. So 2025, basically you'll take next year off, just get big, right? And then come back 2025 and try to make a splash in IFBB.
Try to make a splash, yes.
Okay. All right, well, anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything?
My parents, my mom and my stepdad, Brendan and Marvin. Also my coach, philosopher. I've been with him for a really long time, so I want to give a shout out to him. My two best friends, Leslie and Darlene, they have totally been with me every step of the way, you know, in my corner. So.
Well, that's awesome. It's like a team effort, man. Really, like I know bodybuilding is an individual sport, but it takes a team to like get you all the way to the finish line, man.
Definitely.
Right. Well, congratulations again. Look forward to seeing you in 2025. We got years, but looking forward to seeing you make your pro debut in 2025 and make some noise. You look awesome. All right, Neil Cash and Naomi, your 45 and over champ. NBC News, we out.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay. Oh, that was a great job, ma'am. I mean, you put in some work in this show. I mean, you did it back in 2022. Then you took fourth. Come back and you win 2 pro cards at the show. I mean, that is a rebound. I mean, like Rocky says, it's not matter how you get hits, it's about how you can take the hits.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward. Yes, guys, I like to quote movies, and that's one of my favorite, Rocky Balboa part, great movie, classic. And you said you figured out your parents. When you decided to compete, what was your stepdad and your mom's thoughts when you said, you know what, I'm going to compete? What they said?
I mean, they don't really like it. They're like waiting till I'm done with it, because I see it's a lot of work to it. It requires a lot of consistency, being disciplined for a long time, missing out on holidays, not being able to really enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they're like waiting for the day I say that I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that being that your stepdad, even though he may not have had you, but he fed you long enough that you're his, and
I said he's been in my life since I was 13.
So pretty much he's your daddy. He may not be your father, but he's your daddy. And it's good that one thing I think he's concerned says, I want my girl to be my boy, but that's something that's a lot of fear about people, especially in families when you decide to get into sport, because as bodybuilder gets this, stink eye, especially for the women, association, because the fact is, yes, some competitors, pretty much most competitors, there's some that do natural, but some do use performance enhancers. You don't get that level of muscle, but it's how much you take. But it does. One thing people got to understand that is just one of the aspects of the sport, a very small aspect. It's not as important. Again, it's about consistency. It's about following a diet. I know there's times when you cook for your daughter, she don't eat what she eat. I most definitely know she don't eat what she eat. And there's days that you see what she's eating. You like saying, you be hangry, and you might say, "Hey, give that to mommy." Yeah, shut up. I pay the food here. Shut up, food. Mr. T on it. But yeah, if you want to do sport, you have to have passion for it. It's not a sport because especially as an amateur, unless you have sponsorship, people backing you up. Everything's on you. The cost of being a competitor, counting your suits, your shoes. That's another extra because let's not forget about that with the shoes and travel expenses.
I say your trainer, your coach, your posing coach, your contest coach. This is very expensive.
Yeah, everything else, and then hair and makeup, especially for your division where it is pretty much essential because to me, figure girls are just like buff bikini girls. That's what it is. But I see it's a transition to the division where the girls come to bikini who get into even look at the girls bikini now. Some of them are getting a lot of the definition, a lot of styrations, like in close to women's bodybuilding, like back in the day. Like maybe the early 80s, but even they look bigger and more developed than the women's in the 80s, 90s, close to like maybe Linda Murray now. We got here. This is from my man KF, the one who always picks on me on this. He says, George with the split personalities. No, I have multiples. He says, and also he says, dude, it's not that serious. I'm joking. Why so serious? We mean? Oh, you say why so serious? Why so serious, son? Why so? He put the blade against my mouth. He says to me, "Let's put a smile on your face." He started it. It was him. It was you. You brought it. So yeah. But yeah, I think one thing is people have said that for you ladies, it does cost you a bit more. Like even with men, it takes them a lot more to eat and feed. But with guys, they just need to put on tanning and a pair of banana hammers or a pair of boy shorts. That's it. Yeah, and then like I said, you're changing the aspects of what people consider feminine, because that's always been debate in sport bodybuilding now. Trying to maintain femininity. Back in the day, the ladies, do their hair, a little makeup. They had maybe one suit, but now you have to have your suit for your prejudging and suit for your finals. I mean, it's just a lot has changed over the years in bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've had people tell me that, like, oh, you're gonna lift weights, you're gonna look like a man, and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, I mean, for every that's our person, I look like a man. There's someone that is attracted to it. I don't find lifting manly. I think God gave us both male and female muscles and stuff, so it's not manly. It's just a part of who we are,
Mm-hmm.
Just we choose to put on, lift some weights to bring them out or not. It's to each his own.
Yeah, it's always be the guys who who in the back they say like, you get too muscular, you get manly. And then 20 minutes later, it says, Naomi, I think you're really cute. I like your muscles. I just because they usually is when everybody else is making comments against you ladies, and and this and that. And then, they just get into the whole game mentality. But the fact is, truthfully, there are men who, like myself, I said that I'm going to admit it. I'm a muscle person smoke. I love y'all ladies. Especially being, like I said, I was raised by my mother and my 3 older sisters. I love black women. I love women in general, but I love black women. Black female bodybuilders are just beautiful. The combination of muscle and melanin is amazing. Sometimes I was curious why you get tanning, but I understand that sometimes there's little spots we got here and there. You want to make sure you get it covered.
Oh, makes a big difference.
Yeah. When you're on the stage, you're tan, you're shining, everything's popping, you're vascular. I know some guys, because I'm the guys, and I did it. You get a tickle, your pickle. I remember, I used to go on this. It was a message board, not a message board, was it a chat room? And it used to be dedicated to guys who fan women's bodybuilding. This guy told me, hey, this is my first time because I didn't have a computer for a long time, and it was just I was back in the day when you used to have to dial up, so you have to wait till everybody's asleep. So yeah. So no one could call. Nobody could call that unless somebody's calling somebody. They hoping nobody's dead or anything like that. Cross your fingers. But and then in the chat rooms, and the guys say, "Hey, kid, it's the first time you knew." I said, "Yeah." There's a saying in the small world. So what's the saying? So we ladies rock hard. We're rock hard. But as men, since I started doing this content on women's bodybuilding, I find more respect for you ladies. I still have a passion because I think y'all beautiful women. Because I'm from North Carolina. In the South, our women a little bit more thicker, a little bit rounder. I used to have quite a few jobs coming up when I was young. I used to work at a gas station. One of my real jobs, I used to work in like 13 years in textiles. Nothing but women for a long time. And I had a little side job. I used to work in the booty club, and in the hood, that's what we call it. You call it a gentleman's club if you're, it's certain, if you're more of the upper class, but when you're in the hood, it's the booty club, and I've seen different size of women. And ever since the content, I went to shows. I went with Savannah, my first bodybuilding show. I met some women at a get together. I mean, it was just seeing y'all ladies in person. It's just something just on my mind. Here we got here. This is from KL the Wonder. He says this. He says she looks like Rihanna shining like a diamond on the interview. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you, KL. Yeah, he likes you too. And also he says, Naomi, how long have you been in figure? Like I said, you've been since the interview says since 2017 since you started. So that's at least about 6 years.
I've been thinking about women's physique. It's like I'm still on the fence. I definitely wanted to get my pro card and figure and then decide if I want to switch. But right now I'm loving figure. So
yeah,
I'll for a little bit longer.
Yeah, because you say you want to make your debut in 2025, which is good. That's because I think sometimes it's great to let yourself just relax a little bit, take your time, build yourself, especially when you go up to the next level to division. I see some competitors who switched over and they just kind of just didn't give themselves really time to really grow and develop.
Exactly. I know what place feels like once, and I don't want. I rush. I'm not trying to come in last place. I'm trying to place at a decent, level and stuff. So I'm like, I still need to. My legs are my weakness. I need to focus on growing my legs before I decide to step on a pro stage. I don't want to be last. I don't. So I don't want to rush it.
Yeah, I know. It's good to take your time. This is from a man He says, "You look nice with muscle. Just don't go too extreme with it." And yeah, that's the thing is, and you want to within a comfort level for you. I know some people say like, what? I mean, I hear somebody say, I don't want to go to that. I don't want to get bigger. But then if you look at yourself, it's up to you where you want to go. You don't want to get bigger, don't get bigger. But if you feel like a certain point where you get in a division, we say, you know what, I'm not doing well. I'm stuck. I mean, I've seen girls who just struggle after a while, but then have to make the decision to transition. And and sometimes you, like I said again, you just can just jump into the division, thinking, okay, I'm gonna do well. Take your time and drill and grow. We'll go in her IG real quick, guys, and look at some pictures and videos and get some comments from her. And I think these are some good stuff here we got. Here, this is where you got your pro card, and that was at North Americans. And and you say you were very happy. I mean, this is great look to you right there, nice physique. Look at the legs. It's just great body. You see, even though you have the stretch marks, you still have good ab development. Yeah. What was the critique that the judges gave you after the show? Because usually you get a feedback.
Legs. So it's my upper is definitely the part that's I've never had anything to say, but yeah, my tie-ins, glutes, and hammies, those are areas I'm sure I need to focus on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that's when I think the legs is sometimes. I think the two toughest parts. I think bodybuilders they hate working on is legs. And you said you love your back.
I love back and shoulders, but I have like this lower back pain that makes it really difficult for me to lift heavy for my legs. So it's just finding that happy medium where I can lift heavy enough, but not hurt myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
ultimately, like once I finish bodybuilding, I want to do an Ironman. So you know, I gotta keep this body ready for that too.
So you want to do Iron Man? Sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry, my beat butthead moment. But this is your one of your teammates here at the top. He got his pro
yeah,
card.
he got his pro card. Last year at the same show, we're at the same show. He got his pro card last year, and he won too. And then one of my other teammates, Ralph, we're waiting for him to do it, so it could be a three-peat.
That's pretty cool. And this is your coach and trainer. He's your hero.
He is. I love him. He's been with him for a little bit, but he understands the mind. My mind, sometimes I lose it a little bit. He knows how to reel me back in and keep me
Yeah. Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, he has that Enrique Iglesias baby song. Can I be your hero, baby? Can I take away the pain? And I think you really have made some improvements here. From day 0 to day 85, you can really see it. A little bit better condition in the legs and the quads. Good pop in the shoulders. I mean, your delts look pretty good. I mean, like I said, it is a process, and people got to understand this to trust the process. I remember when we had a conversation with one lady, she's still in amateurs. To trust the process, you have to understand the process, because you really, it's not as easy as everybody thinks.
No, you gotta definitely trust. I mean, bodybuilding, you gotta really love it, because it's something that to really, really see the results, you gotta put some years in. It's like a year later, you're gonna look great, but you're not gonna look really ready for competing unless you put the time and energy into it and stuff. So it's definitely a sport. You gotta truly, it has to be like a love, like a really love for it, because and consistent and to put discipline for years. I tell people for years, it's not a year or a 2-year thing. It's for years.
Because, like I say, it's just also you change the aspects of your lifestyle. You're dieting, you're eating. You have to, exercise. Sometimes, how often do you exercise during the week?
Not because you have to, but I have to work out. So every day I do something. My day off, I'll just do cardio, but I love hiking. I love being outdoors and stuff. So at least once a week, I'm gonna maybe just only do cardio and not actually lift weights. But it's just because I love it. It brings me peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing is, whatever you makes, what makes you feel good, and just bring you to a certain level. This is from last year.
That was last
year. It's not, like I said, really not too much of a big improvement, but still, look good. Good width in your shoulders and in the quads. Yes, I think the issue was around about the abdominals. They didn't pop as much. I think your legs look a little better that year. But that's one thing I often have to be like. One thing is the back and sometimes the legs can make and break how you place at a show. Because there's some ladies who I follow who have great conditioning, but then there's always be something they miss. Like it's either the shoulders, it's either the quads. I mean, one girl told me how when she was at a show, she told her that she needed more size in her lats, then she needed less size in her legs. I mean, that's the thing about the judging. It keeps changing every day. And here, this is one. We had a discussion on this a while back on my channel, and this is a moment of silence for all those movies lost to fitness.
That's definitely me.
Yeah, I know. We had a.
Already were small from the beginning, and then once you get into it, it's just like you lose a little bit that you have.
Yeah, that's one sacrifice, especially for women, because breast is natural fatty tissue, and to build muscle, especially pectorials, you do. Especially if you came in, okay, let's say you a B, C cup, you come in, you're gonna be a minus A before you know it. It really,
already up. So
yeah.
I was already an A, so it's like without padding and stuff, and I don't want to, do the surgery and get faithful with what I have. But yeah, that's what padding for. Without it, it's just completely flat.
Yeah, well, me personally, I'm not be all people, man. I like a little something on the back, but they do for women. They make them, as you know, breast is considered very feminine. That's what separates men from women. I have them, but you know, it's just because I'm fat. That's a big difference. But you know, but I think it's always that debate where should you get? Do you love your natural pecs, or do you feel like you want to feel more feminine? Does it help in judging? You know, the cost of it, because that's another expense if you think about getting them. Because sometimes the surgery could be anything up to $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the size. We said surgeon, then you have to recover this. And sometimes there's been instances if the surgeon's not a specialist, you don't die from surgery per se. It's the anesthesia that could kill you if you take too much of it. Yeah, but I think I prefer the natural pecs. It's me personally. I love the ladies with the great natural pecs. You know, people like one of my favorites, Andrea Shaw. Oh my God, I just love her. You know, I'm a bigger stalker. You know, excuse me, you heard that. But yeah, and you know, but there's some women they do can.
Sydney doesn't have them either.
Yeah, near Sydney. I forgot about Sydney. Yeah, you know, I think at one point the top 3 Olympians, you know, divisions, none of the ladies had. It was Andrea, Sydney, and Sarah Vilgas. You know, you're gonna have boobies, big boobies in you know, fitness and figure, you know, and well, bikini, wellness, and fitness will have them. Most definitely bikini, because you never see no girl in bikini. Never, you know, if you're a woman who go in bikini and say, I don't want big breasts, you might have to go up to either figure or go up to physique.
Yeah.
You know, they're the only one to let you go by with that.
You're not going to go far without them.
Yeah. You know, this is from a man care from 2000. You know, he says this. He says, the one is okay. I know you won't being serious. Obviously, they're talking to each other, so I'm not gonna pay attention to that. So, well, you know, yeah, it's just a choice which you want to make. You know, but like I said, personally, you feel like you're comfortable with yourself, and you should be comfortable with yourself. But if you ever think about doing it, you know, I would say be smart, be moderate, don't go overboard. Don't look like, you know, Dolly Parton. You're like say, hey, you know, like come in the room and knock it down, stuff like that. So anyway, you know, as long as you've been competing, what your aspects you fix of the sport needs to change, especially because the judging is always jumping from here to there. One show you see a girl who's not even that conditioned and she wins. And then turn around to another show, you know, you see a girl best condition, top 1 competitor, but still lose to somebody who isn't in the best condition.
Yeah, well, I think they give these rules and tell you exactly how you should look and stuff like that for each division, and I wish they would just go by that instead of, you know, depending on what judge you have was going to determine if they're looking for someone that's real conditioned, striations, are they looking for someone with good muscle development, and but they don't have the lines and stuff like that. I just feel like they need to like stick to the guidelines and only follow that when it comes down to it, you know, because that's what we're going by. That's what we're trying to build our bodies based off of what the criteria that they're telling us. And then when they don't abide by those, and it's just like, you know, you feel like it's unfair, because there are some women that I did the show with that's been doing that show for like 7, 8, 9 years. And it's like, if we only go by what the judges say, I mean, hey, you know, who knows? You may not never get it. I'm blessed that wasn't me, but can't imagine doing the show for 8, 9 years and you're trying to have a certain kind of look because of what the judges are telling you, and then each year it could change. Who knows? Depending on who's the main judge there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think judges have too much. They say, "Oh, the control," but then you keep changing the rules. Sometimes, you know, like what I was saying earlier, how they say about they want the wellness girls to stay this way, but then, you know, flip it up, and then, you know, other divisions like women's physique and women's bodybuilding, you tell them, okay, you can come like this and come like that, but don't have a set. Because I know some ladies complain that the fact is the judges don't have a set standard rules, and they keep changing the rules. It's tough for you ladies, and like I said, the expensive side of it, you know, because you have your daughter. You know, I know there's days where, you rather spend more time with her, do things, mommy and daughter days, do a mani-pedi, go shopping, maybe just go out and have a nice little, get together, with the family. And that's tough about that because I know some ladies told me that they lost friendships because they got into sport and got committed to it. Because, people don't understand what it takes to become a top level competitor in bodybuilding.
Well, I'm glad that never was my issue. So no, I think I've gained more friends, especially in the sport. But most of my friends, like I said, because I was doing CrossFit and Spartan races, most of my friends are into some type of sport like that. So I'm not in loose friends. I think I gained friends. That's one of my friends that I gave a shout out to, Leslie. I met her through bodybuilding. That's how we became friends and stuff. So I think it changes, of course, because people don't understand why you spend so much time working out and stuff like that, and meal prepping and all the stuff that you have to do. But I've gained friends throughout the time, and my team is the girls on my team were all good friends outside of just the sports. So for me, I think it was the opposite. I gained more than lost.
Yeah, I would call that. It's one of my favorites. It used to be a show I used to watch. It's a Japanese anime called Full Metal Alchemist, and there was a rule. It's a number one rule of alchemy: order to obtain something equal of greater value, or actually say something equal or lesser value was supposed to be lost. But when you lose something lesser value, you're not losing anything. I go like this: something of greater or equal value, you lose is or you gain. That's how it works. Because sometimes, even though you may not had lost any friends, you gain new friends. And that's the thing is about bodybuilding is people say it's individual sport, but it takes a team. You got your coach, you got your friends, you got your family, all those people behind you supporting you in your growth and your path. One thing I would ask sometimes, as a woman, it's tough, have to deal with people's prejudice with you ladies. And ladies I become friendly with, I tell them, hey, don't worry about it, live for you. I know there's days where in your back of your head say, why am I doing this? I could be, doing CrossFit, when the CrossFit's a lot more popular than bodybuilding. I mean, when I was coming up, I used to watch bodybuilding on television, ESPN or regular like NBC News used to show bodybuilding. But you have to have a passion for a sport. And you ever had those doubts where you say to yourself, you know what? I don't know if I want to do it anymore.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I've gotten that, especially this last show. I think more than ever, the last show, because I've been literally doing a show every year for a while. So it's difficult. And I was just like, once I get my program, I'm done. I'm so tired. It's just like I'm tired of not being able to go out to eat. I'm tired of just not being regular. Just like, just being like waking up late if I choose to wake up late, and just having a regular life. Yeah, it's like sometimes it stresses you out because you don't have a regular life anymore. You have to be okay with, eating the same thing every day, for a very, very long time, being consistent with your gym workouts and stuff. So yeah, I have moments where I'm just like, oh, I just need a break. I'm done. And then of course, because you have that love for it. Like once I was able to like, oh, after the show, just relax, rest, and then it's still there. It's like, yeah, competing is just, I don't know, it's just a drive. It drives me. It's a burning desire. So every time I want to quit, then something happens where I'm like, yeah, I'm not over. It's not done yet. Yeah. I love it too much.
Well, the thing is, it's the love that keeps a lot of competitors here. Most people, any regular Jane Q public off the street would say, you know what, if I have to give up, eating a hot dog or give up fried chicken, or if I can't, I got to get up like 5 o'clock in the morning where my bed is my lover. It calls to me. There's times when you get up and say, I know, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you. But if you're determined to make the effort, especially as like I said, you are a woman, but you are a pro level athlete. And to get to that top, you have to make the sacrifices. You have to make the choices. You have to decide, what, even though I'm eating, chicken and rice or, turkey and quinoa, or this or that every day. I know my little girl sitting there eating that burger. I want to hit her in the face and take it away from her, but you know what? I can't do that. That'd be child abuse. But you know, if you want to get to that next level and step with the big stars, step with the stage with the Sid Gillens or the Jessica Reyes or Lola Montez or any other women in the top level of your division, you got to make those sacrifices.
Yeah, I probably won't be at their level, but
well, don't ever say that, because not being level, but you can never say never.
Never say never. I tell you, D Jackson, which she's 54, she's going to be the oldest woman to step on the Olympia stage and figure. She definitely has inspired me, because when I'm like, this woman's 54 and she is going to the Olympia this year, I was like, okay, that definitely gives me this drive to say like, okay, she's my inspiration. If she can do it, I could do it. She's doing it, and at 54, and so you're right. I can't think like I can't get there because she did, and she's going, and we'll see how she does this year.
Yeah, I know one lady who I follow, and Michelle Brent, 66. I think she's gonna be 66 this year. She just competed her last show. That was the Masters. The same where you get your pro card. She did the pro part. And she also, before that, maybe a week or so before that, she did the Masters Olympia in Romania. Late 60s, been competing body for 30 years. She's a mom. She has a son. He's grown, and she's a businesswoman. And I'm a fan of her. We used to talk about. I was trying to get her on an interview. Maybe I get her sometime soon. Cross my fingers. But women like that. I met one lady who was at 50-something years old. On the Olympia stage. Irene Anderson. She was at Savannah when she competed last year, and she's 55, 54, grandmother, 3 kids, and has been to Olympia quite a few times. Like I said, that's why I say you never say never. And now with the Masters class, they have the Masters Olympia, but they still seem much older competitors make it to Olympia. I mean, you got there, you blow out some of these young girls, that's showing you're doing good. You're doing good, baby.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'll be happy if I make it to the Masters Olympia. I'm telling you, you will see a big old grin on my face.
You'd be like, put a smile.
I'm like, it's growing, because all these young Olympians are one day going to be 40 plus, and so I feel like Master Olympia is going to be around for a while, and it's going to grow. It's going to one day be as big as the Olympia, because I mean, it gives you an opportunity to stay in the sport longer, and a lot of older people are getting into it now. So it definitely being it all the way in Romania probably was a closer to home. I said it needs to be in North America or South America, close over here, because that's where most Canada, yes, we're all on this side of town.
Well, especially what it should be added to the main Olympia, because you could do like this. You can put it. Yeah, you have the amateur show first. You put it in between the main show and the amateur show. That's what they do. Like Tim Gardner, when he has his master show, he has it the day before the main show. Yeah. But I think what it is, because Jake Wood, shot Jake Wood. He's promoted. He posts that show because it's part of the Olympia brand. His girl, Amelia Popa, she runs it. I'm with it. Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. And he's a billionaire. So Jake, whatever you got in your pocket, man, I pay for my rent for the next 2 years. I appreciate that. I'm a fan of this, and what he's doing especially for women's bodybuilding. Stepping up for the divisions. And also your queen of your division is, she started another show. Her and my favorite lady, Andrea Shaw, and Whitney Jones, they're doing the Triple O in Arizona. And it's also, I think they also have Pro Masters for that show. So I know you say you're going to sit back and do 2025. Would that be a show you want to debut in 2025? Readers want to know.
I don't know. We have to see. That's a question. At any show I do, I have to talk to my coach about. He makes the final decision on that. Not me.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, because I think you want to give you time. You don't want to you want to hit the ground running, but you want to make sure you can hit the ground. One thing I like to know: are you sponsored? That's one thing. That's the hard part about being about it. Is sponsorship. It's important. You know no sponsors?
Sponsors, no.
That's the thing. I think
I said all out of pocket, my pocket.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I think one thing that does help singing competitors is sponsorship. It's no more than that, folks. If you're in the area where Naomi's at, if you're interested in helping out, as being a sponsor, interested in supporting her. Like I said, again, her social media stuff is in the description. You can follow her on IG and social media. Also, if you can, like, little things like, okay, if you see her getting gas, hey, Miss Horne, I pay for your gas. Little stuff like that. If the little things, little small donations does help in the process. You know, it could be $10 to get us a cup of, since it's fall and they love it, pumpkin latte spice coffee. I mean, I don't get this. I never get it. I mean, I drink cocoa. I drink tea, but I'm not, my mom used to love coffee. She used to get in the morning. She drank coffee like an old cowboy, but it's just guys out there who are genuinely interested in sponsoring someone like Naomi, who wants to see her make her way into the sport. Reach out to her. Be genuine about supporting a lovely lady like this in the sport of bodybuilding. But don't be that weird guy. Don't be that guy like this guy here and say, "Hey there, girl, yeah, sweet piece of chocolate, and Jerome likes a piece. So if I do something for you, what do you do for Jerome?" No, Jerome. Stop it, Jerome. No, guys, no, don't do that. Don't ask me, because I know a lot of ladies in the sport, they do this stuff like OnlyFans, they do video sections, they do that stuff because it's a way to make money. Because the fact is, unless you're the top level competitors, you're not gonna make any money. But this is a lady; she is committed, she is passionate about the sport, and she really used to help. So if you're someone out there, you're saying, "Mrs. Horne, my name is such. I want to help you out in your path. So you have anything you need from me, let us know. We don't want nothing more from you, but you see your success." And that's what we want to hear from people who are fans of these ladies like yourself.
Definitely, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So when your last show, and you talk about eating, what was that thing you wanted the most? That thing, it was calling your man, it was calling your name, it was calling your name.
Chicken and waffles.
Ooh, you're right there in Callaway, you with Roscoe's, huh?
No, I went to this place in Pittsburgh right after the show.
Oh yeah, I think you said Pittsburgh. Oh.
At the show in Pittsburgh, and I was so tired I didn't care about eating right after the show. I'm like, I'm just gonna wake up in the morning and go get me some chicken and waffles, and that's what I did. Ate the whole. My mom was with me, and I told her, I was like, I'm gonna eat everything on this plate. There'll be nothing left. She was like, no. I was like, oh yes, I don't care how stuffed I get. I'm about to eat all the chicken, all the waffle, everything. There was nothing left.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that food is both a weapon and a tool for bodybuilding. Especially one goes size. But it's between what you eat. It's nice to indulge every now and then, but not too much where it takes you off. I know some ladies who they like to eat, especially after prejudging, and seem like everything pops back into place. To get that cookie in them, or a piece of just bread is your friend, yet is your enemy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely need that. But my coach, after prejudging, he pretty much starved me. I had like a salad and a small piece of chicken breast, and that was it for 6 hours. I was like, 6 hours. I'm used to eating every 2.5, 3 hours. I need more food. He's like, no. So yeah, it all depends. Yeah, but when right before the show, when he lets me have a little bit of a little bit of candy or something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just like you're savoring every little portion.
It's like you feel like saying, "Oh God, it's like
it's like the best feeling in the world when you've been deprived and you finally get to have something nice and savory, sweet or savory, and it's just really good. It's like, I mean, you're savoring every little portion, like every little bite. And when he says, no, you can only have one, you're like, oh, just one more, please, just one more.
Please, sir, can I have some more, please, sir? Can I have some more? Like Oliver Twist. Yeah, I know it's tough, but like I said, if he did what he did, you wouldn't have got your pro card.
No.
So you can pat him on the back and slap him in the face later. So yeah. So folks, we're not gonna hold this lovely lady long. She's a trainer, and you do training. So I know, what you doing?
Sure. I'm a special education teacher too.
Oh, too. Oh, you're a teacher, huh? So as you might be wondering. We might be wondering what grade you teach.
I work with high school students.
Oh God. Oh God, I used to in high school. If you were working, we like that's Miss Horne. I was like, oh yeah, say she's a little buff, but she's kind of cute. I don't know, man. I don't know. Especially kids nowadays, they go, wow. I used to remember some teachers out, especially wow. One teacher, she used to be like a dance teacher, and sometimes she comes in her, in like the tight pants, and like. Wow, she like we just we're teenagers. Come on, we're thinking with the lower half, not the up. We're thinking we're thinking with the head between our two legs, not between our two shoulders. That's the problem. Yeah. And you got a young girl, so you better tell her to watch out for them because if I was a pappy, I'd be sitting on the porch with a gun and a rifle. Say, we want to come see my daughter? Well, boy, you got to come through me first.
That's is with me.
Yeah, just be like what's that movie? Be like Clint Eastwood for the movie Unforgiven says, if any man don't want to die tonight, you better run out the back. That's a classic movie, people. Yeah. Hey, KL, that's something I just said. That's a classic Clint Eastwood movie. Okay, be happy. So anyway, folks, we like to thank the lovely Mrs. Horne for coming through and share her story. I know we want to see her maybe in a couple more years, see how she does. It's tough to be a woman in sport, especially a Black woman in sport. Society will always see that with muscle it's not very common. But if you have a passion for a sport, it shouldn't matter what everybody has to say. Everybody wants to say this and that. But if you don't like it, here's the thing is, don't say nothing. I know some ladies who I've confronted with say me, "Oh, George, guys, say me this, say that." So if you don't like it, why you gotta say anything? Keep your mouth shut. Move on. Go to the girl with the big fake knockers page. Dancing. She's nothing but a pencil stick. Go look at her. But leave these ladies alone who work out, they're not doing anything to anybody. They ain't bothering nobody at all. Respect them as athletes. You are a woman. You're an athlete. You're a mother. You're a trainer. You're a coach. Your daughter, your sister, your friend, your wife. You are someone who you love what you do. And you're passionate about it. I love doing these interviews and I love doing content, you ladies, because the fact is there's not enough voice for y'all out there. I mean, if you go on YouTube, I know you have a YouTube channel, you need to up it up a little bit. And if you go on there, most of the sites that's dedicated about it is going to mostly talk about the men's division, which is this is the language of it. They're the bottom bitches, they're the one bringing the money, bringing the attention. And they'll talk about bikini because it's a division. I don't talk much. I did a couple of women bikini, but it's a division that's not really bodybuilding per se, but it's more pageantry. But it is something that, if you look at the girls now, it's developing, growing. But I think more recognition, more opportunity, and also for one thing, is most definitely money. You think about it. If you can go to a show and a guy like Heidi Shepard can walk away with nearly almost $500,000, and then someone like Andre Shaw gets like $50K, then you have a show where some women might get $3,000 for first place, where a guy gets $20,000. I think also there should be more benefits for you, because like any sport, look at football, basketball, baseball, they have benefits. They have this. I got a friend. He is an IFBB pro. Him and his wife compete. He used to play football for several years. He retired. He still gets a pension from the NFL. And I think that should go the same way with you bodybuilders. You should get some assistance, because no one comes to see Jim Mannion, no one comes to see Tyler Manning, no one comes to see Sandy Williamson, no one see Steve Weinberger, no one comes to see Bobby Ciccarello. I call him Bobby Chick. No one comes to see any of the judges or executives, or even Jake. Jake. We come see you, and I think there should be more recognition for you ladies and your gentlemen too.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and it's sad that even someone like Arnold, I was a big Arnold fan when I was coming up, still am, but what he did, he kicked out your division. He kicked out women's physique and bodybuilding. Oh, he has the TNA divisions. We know what TNA divisions are, and fitness, but I'm surprised fitness is still there. But we know, I think where I do content women's bodybuilding, there's a show coming up this weekend, is the Leisure Sports Show. It's the last qualification for Olympia for women's physique. Women's bodybuilding, their last qualification technically was the Rising Phoenix, but as long as Andrea's there, no one's going to get their qualification for Olympia, that show. But the last one was the Europa show. and it's overseas in Europe. It's tough. I follow guys like Female Bobby Channel. They announced that at a show, none of the women in bodybuilding or physique get their pro cards because there were not enough competitors. It's just
changing.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate your time, and I'd like to thank you. I want to wish you all the best of luck. 2025, or 2024, whichever you want to feel comfortable with. Talk with your coach, sign it up, put a sky, let's see how it works. But as we got you here, other than we want to shout to, we want to say give love to, and just share us with us, because those people that have stood by you when there's days where you just want to give up, who are they? Share their support.
Of course, my coach, philosopher, my personal trainer, Ralph Lucian. He's definitely been trying to work with me on my legs and grow those legs. My team, the fit team, we're growing. We're small but mighty, and we're continue to grow. The ladies on there definitely support me, and the guys and stuff. And of course, my friends. My friend Leslie has totally been there. Rosa, Roseanne, Darlene, Sarah, Sonia, they have definitely been there. And my family, my mom, my stepdad, my sister, my daughter has been there. And surprisingly, my ex-husband, I'm not married anymore, but surprisingly, my ex-husband has really been a support and has helped me out as well. So I want to thank those people for being there by my side and helping me. Every little thing helps. Every little thing helps.
Well, that's a good man, even though you're not together, and she's single now. So that's a good man to stand by you. I mean, some people, my parents were together, over 50 years. At that time, my father lived in New Jersey, but we still down here in North Carolina. But, we passed away. My mom said I was the only man she truly loved, even though, as to quote the other guy, my father was a drunk and a fiend. And my mother did not like it. Not one bit. But before he passed, me and him, we made our differences as men, and I love my dad. He was my dad. But yeah, it's good that you have that support. It is, it's tough. You don't have it. It's tough to do this on your own. You can't do this sport on your own. It's a sport of individuals, but it takes a team to make that individual who they are. So, like I said, we wish you best of luck. I think in the future we may see you at the Olympia. Oh, maybe they can bring it. Like I said again, Jake. I want that money. I want that gun. I want you to move the Masters Olympia to the main Olympia. It makes more sense, Jake.
Yeah,
it makes more sense because a lot of competitors. I did an interview with Daphne and her husband Keith Holmes. I meet Daphne. We interviewed before. We were really cool. Keith, he also competes in men's classic and done men's physique. He said he didn't want to spend that much money to go over there. He would love to do it because he's like 50 years old. He was old enough to apply. He would love to do it, but he didn't see the money doing it. If it was, he lives in Florida, him and his wife. If they have it at part of the Olympia, where they're gonna have, I think they say they might move the Olympia back to Vegas. Don't move back to Vegas because after that last time, it wasn't a bad move. They should leave it in Orlando. Good area, good place. People got sick last time. I mean, I did even one lady, she did interview the week after and she was still sick. I said, hey, take some time. And you said, no, I want to do the interview, George. Shout out to Danielle Willis. That was a great interview with her. I think it make more sense. But the thing is, like I said, you have a lot of competitors over there. Bodybuilding is really growing overseas in the last few years. And I think, it really was. But I think if there was more ways where which one thing sponsor you, like taking a trip. I know some ladies who go for me. If you get sponsored, sponsor you if you want to ever go to Olympia, get your application in and do Olympia Masters. Someone could sponsor her. That could help out. Just the cost of her plane ticket and maybe cost for her find a place to stay, and she's covered everything else. That would help her. Because I know one lady said it took her she spent like $4,000, and then after that, she about broke when she came back home. Yeah. So anyway, folks, we like to thank the lovely Mrs. Horne for coming through. I like to thank my man KL the Wanderer, Warrior 2000. All the people who watch this video, comment, like, subscribe, share, support. The lovely Miss Horne in her path. We will see her in 2025 or 2026, depending on how she wants to go. She'll talk to a coach, give everything figured out, put it there, put a pin in it, dot the I, cross the T's, whatever else. But folks, like I said again, if you want to follow her in her social media, is in the description. Check her out. support her. She's also a trainer. So I think you do online training also. A lot of people doing it too during the pandemic.
Yeah, online and in person,
Yeah,
both.
that's good because really things are changing. Like that's how I do my interviews online. It's this things are changing. When we have two things that changes the world is war and pandemics, because new technologies come out of it. So,
Yeah.
folks, if anyone like to follow the lovely Mrs. Horne, her social media stuff in the description. Reach out to a genuine interest. I tell you guys, don't do this. She got a kid. She might want to meet a new man. He don't want to be like saying, "Baby, who's this?" What the heck is he like? No, guys, stop it. These are women. They're ladies. Treat them like ladies. Send them little nice little things. Be nice. You get more with silk glove than an iron fist. Anyway, folks. I'd like to thank y'all for coming through. We like to say thank you to lovely Mrs. Horne. Comment, like, subscribe, support the sport of bodybuilding, support these men and women in the sport. And if you can find a way to maybe sponsor a competitor, reach out in genuine interest. All right. This has been All the Way Church Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out.
Thank you.
You are welcome.